6 and 5, brought to you by Talking Rocks Cavern. Explore the beauty above and below ground at Talking Rocks Cavern. The Springfield Greene County Park Board reminding you to go play, and Roto-Rooter Plumbing and Drain Service. Call Southwest Missouri's best plumber today for a free estimate. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Forhetz.
Good morning to you on Thursday. Hope your week is off to almost wrapping up to a good start. So let's start with some news today.
Yeah, scary situation in Nixa Wednesday morning. 3 people broke into a house with 2 people inside at the time. One of them was able to hide and call 911, but the other resident was attacked. Police responded and arrested a female intruder. 2 men ran off, but were also arrested. Whether there was a relationship between the victims and the attackers is still being investigated. Either way, terrifying ordeal. The man accused of setting fire to a church in Mountain Grove has pleaded not guilty. The fire destroyed the Southside Baptist Church back in June. A man from South Carolina was arrested and charged with 3 felonies related to that arson. He'll stand trial in April. That church would like to rebuild on the same property.
Springfield's airport is planning for growth over the next 20 years. It just presented its 20-year plan to the Springfield City Council. Some of the plans include terminal expansions, longer runways, an additional runway, and a parking garage. The airport is looking at these options as the airport moves toward 2 million passengers a year. This year, the airport is on track to see 1.3 million passengers, which would be a new record for the airport. The ideas for expansion have not yet been approved, but the process is underway. Missouri jury found the National Association of Realtors, as well as some residential brokers, liable for nearly $1.8 billion in damages after determining that they conspired to keep commissions for some home sales artificially high. The lawsuit covered home sales that took place between April 2015 to June of 2022 and included sellers of more than 260,000 homes in Missouri, Illinois, and Kansas who objected to the commissions they were obligated to pay the buyers' brokers. The defendants denied all wrongdoing and are planning now to appeal.
All right, nearly 175 acres of prime real estate just off East Sunshine will be turned into a residential development. This is down by the Sam's Club on East Sunshine. It's going to be residential development, a senior living facility, as well as a tree nursery. The 10 tracts of undeveloped land sold for more than $5.5 million, located about 2 miles east of Sam's Club. At Farm Roads 142 and 199. Here's some good news. Greene County's government received another clean audit. Congratulations to them, making it a good report every year since 2000. That's amazing. The audit was done by KPM, a Springfield-based financial firm. One of the big issues, of course, this time around was looking at all the COVID money that came in from the feds and then was distributed. And again, they got a clean audit. Very good. All right. A little bit more good news for you. Springfield's unemployment rate went down in September from August, still higher than it was in September of last year when it was at 1.7%. It dropped to 2.3% from 2.9% in August. That's pretty similar to unemployment rates across the state, all of which dropped slightly from August to September. St. Louis is at 3.1%, Kansas City at 2.7%, and Joplin is at 2.6%.
There's a sobering warning that just came out from the FBI telling a Senate panel that there's a growing chance that terrorist groups will attack Americans in the United States. In fact, that threat has gone to a whole other level in those words, according to the FBI director. Making the threat much more real is the fact that more people on the terrorism watch list have been caught crossing the porous southern border in the last year than in the previous 6 years combined. So that's of concern. There's also rising anti-Semitism across the country. No doubt you've seen that, especially on college campuses. A man was just arrested yesterday for posting several threats against Jewish students at Cornell University, including that he would slit the throats of Jews. Jewish Americans make up just 2% of the U.S. public, but 60% of all religious-based hate crimes in the U.S. are against Jews. And it doesn't appear as though things are getting better, but worse.
Another serious warning from the FDA if you use eye drops. This is interesting. 26 over-the-counter eye drop products could lead to serious eye infection or even blindness. The bacteria apparently is getting in because of unsanitary conditions in the manufacturing facility. The eye drops are sold under the brands CVS Health, Rite Aid, Target, Up and Up, and are supposed to be sterile, but they are not. If you have any, you are asked to stop using them immediately.
Yeah, that's the real deal. Blindness isn't something to mess around with. And, we all just take for granted, 'cause I've used eye drops before. You just take for granted that they are sterile like they're supposed to be. You don't even think about it. You pour it in your eye. This weekend, it's the first ever Springfield Auto Show, which is cool. Dozens of manufacturers and auto dealers will be displaying brand new makes and models under one roof at a new place, the brand new Wilson Logistics Arena at the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds. So you get a chance to see some new cars and the new digs over there at the fairgrounds. They will provide an exclusive opportunity, they say, to see the latest vehicles with zero sales pressure. Plus, attendees have the chance to win great door prizes, free admission. The 2023 Springfield Auto Show starts tomorrow, runs through Sunday at the new arena there at the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds, 11 to 7, both Friday and Saturday, and then noon to 6 on Sunday.
All right, that'll be fun. And then also it is the annual Wingapalooza on Saturday, the 23rd year for the popular Chicken Wing Festival put on by the Springfield Sertoma. Over the years, the Sertoma clubs have raised more than $900,000 for the Boys and Girls Club of Springfield. How about that? Wingapalooza is Saturday from 11 to 5 at the Springfield Expo Center.
Yeah, that's really a great event that the Sertoma Club puts on. It's a lot of hard work, but I've spoken to the Sertoma clubs here a number of times, and they're great folks. This is really one of their this and the chili thing, I think, are their two major fundraisers. And I mean, that's a lot of money given to the Boys and Girls Clubs to do good work locally. Yeah. So well awesome. Done.
And fun.
Enjoy some
fun
wings.
Event. So
yeah, who doesn't love wings?
I sure do. And I love chili too. So it's a win-win for me. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I hope you have a great Thursday. Gonna see some sunshine today. You can check out the forecast with the Wake Up Weather with Abby Dyer. She'll give you all the rundown of where we're headed.
Not as cold as it could be. So
I know,
we got that going for us, which is nice.
Looking forward to that. All right. Have a great one. Thanks so much for joining us.
See you tomorrow.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Scooters Coffee. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everyone. It is another morning where we are starting below the freezing point. It's cold in the Ozarks, but I have good news for you. Today, we start to turn things around. I have temperatures that are going to recover. We're going to see our numbers warm back up into the upper 50s today, 58 degrees for the high temperature. So a welcome change after the record-setting cold that we've had around in the Ozarks the last couple of days. We still have the sunshine to enjoy today as well, and a south breeze, still breezy. So there's a bit of a wind chill factor this morning. We are feeling like the 20s, even though low 30s is what you'll see on the thermometer. And then we will warm things up into the upper 50s, going 58 degrees for that afternoon high temperature. Lots happening in the upper levels of the atmosphere. We are seeing that really cold air plunge even further south. So many of our friends to the south experiencing the cold blast too, a little bit of an early shot of really cold air and freezing temperatures for much of the south. It's a frigid start to the day with bitter cold wind chills in the 20s. But we are heading in the right direction. Beginning today, we're back into the 50s. I have temps that get back into the 60s by tomorrow, and then we will see numbers that are going to be approaching 70 in a couple of days as we get closer to the weekend forecast. So things are looking pretty good for us. Today, we're 58. Loads of sunshine in the forecast. It's going to feel really nice outside. Lots of sunshine today, tomorrow, and on Saturday. We start to see maybe some cloud cover move back into the region by Sunday. But I mean, this is a string of really nice fall weather. And the leaves are looking really beautiful. We're probably just slightly past peak. But if you were looking to do one of the fall foliage driving tours or something in the Ozarks, take some family photos. I think this weekend is still a good opportunity. We are starting to see some fall and brown a little bit, though, from all the rain that we had around last weekend. I have temperatures that will turn above average by the weekend. I mentioned a few days that will be approaching that 70-degree point. That's going to happen both Saturday and Sunday. So by the weekend, it's going to be nice to get outdoors. And a look at the extended outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, well, it shows the Ozarks kind of in between two air masses. We have this really amplified jet stream that's going to be setting up for early November. And for us, well, it probably means that temperatures are going to be near normal the second week of November. However, when we're in between kind of two air masses like that, oftentimes that can be kind of an active setup. So we're probably going to be pretty quiet this first week of November. And then next week, we may see more activity come our way in the form of rainfall. Temperature-wise, though, things look like they're going to level out. We're not going to stay in the deep freeze like how we started the month with the record-setting cold for November 1st. November 2nd, we're heading in the right direction. We're going to stay rain-free in this forecast too for the remainder of this work week through the weekend. And then it's early next week, likely Monday, that we have the next best chance for some showers in the Ozarks. It does not look like an overwhelming amount of rain, but I do think we'll have at least some rain showers around. Monday, the only opportunity for rain in my extended forecast, and temperatures get back closer to average next week too after a nice little warm up timed perfectly for the weekend forecast. Around the country, I already mentioned that we're seeing a cold snap for much of the country. Of course, we've already experienced our cold snap here. The growing season is done in the Ozarks. We are now seeing that frost and freeze to millions in the South. Our friends down in Texas waking up to some frost advisories, maybe some frost on the grass. We also have that back through portions of Louisiana, Mississippi, the South, seeing a really cold blast of weather. And then as we get closer to the weekend, we are also going to be talking about warm temperatures here, but we fall back this weekend. It's time for the time change, unbelievably. So it's going to be getting real dark next week, but light earlier in the day. I don't know. People hate it. People love it. I guess I'm kind of indifferent on the time change. It's happening though, this weekend, whether we want it to or not. All right. It is time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister question, sponsored by Scooters Coffee. And this one was kind of an interesting Halloween themed one. I'm still on the Halloween kick, even though we're in November now. I've seen a lot of people, by the way, moving on to Christmas. I'm not there yet. I'm going to give Thanksgiving its moment, and then I'll move on. What famous classic novel began as an attempt to win a ghost story competition? And the options here, you probably have heard of some of these famous novels. So do you think it was A, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, B, Frankenstein, C, The Picture of Dorian Gray, or D, The Island of Dr. Moreau? That one I had actually not heard of, but I looked up the movie trailer, and it might be one of those that I put on the list to go back and watch next Halloween. But if you guessed B, Frankenstein, you would be correct. This was actually originally an attempt to win a writing competition. Kind of interesting. I did not know that. It was a ghost story competition, who can write the spookiest story. It tells, of course, the story of Victor Frankenstein, the young scientist who creates a creature with an unorthodox scientific experiment. We know the rest, the Frankenstein monster, but originally written by an 18-year-old to win a ghost story competition, and has now morphed into this Frankenstein, which will, of course, be a character forever. All right, here's your question for tomorrow. What is the oldest organized sport in North America? Do you think it is A, soccer, B, baseball, C, lacrosse, or D, cricket? Head on over to aroundtheozarks.com. You can submit your guess there. You have a chance to win a $20 gift card to Scooters Coffee every single day of the week. That's what we're giving away Monday through Friday. It's too good to pass up on, so make sure you head on over, submit your guess, take a stab at it. All correct entries will be entered to win that gift card, so might as well attempt. no Googling. That takes all the fun out of it. But you can also find some weather information if you head on over to the website. That's aroundtheozarks.com. Thanks so much for listening this morning. It's going to be a beautiful day. Sunshine, 58 degrees, south wind, and we are warming on up for the rest of the work week. So have a fantastic day.